It's time for Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero. When it comes to news here on KALH, weather always comes first. Severe thunderstorms are expected across the Central Plains, accompanied by damaging wind gusts and large hail. In addition, heavy rainfall may lead to instances of flash flooding from the plains and mid-Atlantic. The heavy rainfall threat continues across Florida and across the northern Gulf of America as a tropical disturbance tracks westward. Critical fire weather conditions are expected for the Great Basin. Closer to home, available monsoonal moisture and daytime heating will lead to daily rounds of afternoon and evening showers and storms, mainly west of the Divide through today and across the borderland for much of the rest of the week. Impacts from storms include periods of heavy rainfall with localized flash flooding, mainly small hail, gusty outflow winds, and areas of blowing dust. With the general summertime thunderstorm weather pattern, daily high temperatures top out very near seasonal averages. We'll have another look at the weather following this news.
This is Range Control. Roadblock information for Wednesday, July 16th. Roadblocks are subject to change without notice. Highway 7, Highway 380, Ohm Road, Nike Avenue, and War Highway are scheduled to remain open all day.
To protect the public from potential PFAS exposure, land surrounding the Holloman Evaporation Pond near the Holloman Air Force Base will temporarily close beginning August 14th. Colonel John Etheridge is the commander of the 49th Wing at Holloman Air Force Base. He spoke with KRQE.
Given the recent scientific evolution of it becoming a hazardous substance about a year ago, and then especially with it just last month being found in the soil surrounding the lake, is what drove us to implement this closure that is coming up in 30 days.
Also known as Holloman Lake, Holloman Evaporation Pond and the land around it is closing to the public on August 14th. The base said it's to protect people from forever chemicals, or PFAS, which are linked to health problems. The base says their water and water for the city of Alamogordo and surrounding areas has not been affected by the PFAS at the lake. The village of Ruidoso is still recovering from the devastating floods. State officials say they've reached out to federal government for additional resources, but they haven't come yet.
We will get resources really moving quickly. That's $15 million from the federal government, quick.
Governor Michelle Lujan Grisham made that statement at a news conference last week, but the people are still waiting. Carrie Gladden is the public information officer for the village of Ruidoso. She spoke with KOAT.
Until that disaster is declared, and I know that the governor, the congressional delegation, they're all working to get that done. But until that is done, we don't have any access to FEMA assistance.
The big question, what's the holdup? Who or what is in the way here?
What we are waiting on, like you mentioned, is for the White House and for FEMA headquarters to approve a declaration request that has been submitted up.
Allie Rye is the state director for the Office of Homeland Security and Emergency Management. The state has requested both public and individual assistance. Public assistance would provide the village with more resources like swift water rescue teams and additional law enforcement officers. Individual assistance provides people with money for the recovery. But how soon?
I'm hopeful that they come fairly soon, but we are dependent upon the White House and the decision for them to make. So we could see a determination turned around in a couple hours, or it could take a couple of months.
The state has disaster case managers available now who can help fill the gaps before the federal government steps in. Side note, many areas of Ruidoso remain under a boil advisory. The village of Ruidoso is having a workshop tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. You can view the agenda in full by visiting villageoftularosa.com. The Rocketeer Academy is returning to Alamogordo. Todd Fuqua is the assistant editor for El Rito Media. He spoke with KRWG.
People call it Space Camp. It's at the Space Museum in Alamogordo. They've had it since 1978. But they didn't have it for 5 years. It was shut down due to COVID, and they're just now bringing it back. And it's always been a really popular event for kids, STEM events, certainly science and technology, and anything to do with space. I mean, come on, that's got to be super popular with kids. Well, they finally have brought it back, and there are a number of kids going to this thing, including they're going to take a trip out to the gateway, the space gateway that Virgin Galactic has out there near Spaceport America. And they're going to get to see a Virgin Galactic aircraft up close as part of this. So it's all a big deal for them. A lot of time and planning has gone into this to bring this back, and it's something that people have missed.
Visit nmspacemuseum.org or call 575-437-2840 for details. The Alamogordo District 5 annual citywide cleanup is happening this Saturday from 7 a.m. until noon at the Dudley School Community Center, that's 6th and Maryland. This is an opportunity for you to dump your junk, and community shredding services are also available. Well, today is Wednesday. It's time for This Week at La Luz Ag Market.
Hey guys, it's Olivia here, founder of the La Luz Agricultural Market. Last weekend, our turkeys didn't even make it past noon. Folks were lining up early and they were gone in a flash. We also had the cutest chickens and bunnies, which as always were a big hit with the kids. But it's not just about the animals. We've got tables full of the good stuff. Elderberry syrup to keep your immune system strong, local honey that tastes like sunshine, and fresh goat milk and eggs straight from the farm. And let's talk food. The Zia Bites food truck from Carrizosa joined us last weekend. And y'all, their Philly sandwich with fries was so good. Pair that with a cold lemonade or fruity agua fresca, and you're in heaven on a hot summer day. You will not want to miss them next time. This Saturday, July 19th, we've got the Rollin' Up food truck joining us. So come hungry and stick around for lunch. There's something for everyone. Succulent plants that make perfect gifts. Or, let's be honest, a little treat for yourself. Beautiful handmade wooden toys. And don't even get me started on the baked goods. Sourdough cinnamon rolls that melt in your mouth. Cookies, fresh bread, you name it. We've also got handmade soaps that smell like a dream, locally crafted jewelry, and plenty more treasures to explore. So come spend your Saturday with us at the La Luz Agricultural Market. We're out between the pistachio farms at 7298 Highway 5470 in Alamogordo. Every Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to sold out. Bring the family, bring your appetite, and come enjoy the best of local living. It's like a farmer's market, but even better. Don't forget to follow us on Facebook at La Luz Agricultural Market to stay up to date on all of the fun. If you've got any questions, feel free to give me, Olivia, a call at 575-442-1193. I'll see y'all this Saturday at the Leather and Lace General Store, right off Highway 5470 between the two pistachio farms.
News from around the state in just a moment. This is Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.
Hi, it's me, here to tell you about AlamogordoTownNews.org. This is Otero County's #1 source for local news, sports, and community. Quite frankly, AlamogordoTownNews.org is the big LES news service online. AlamogordoTownNews.org is a Second Life Media affiliated company.
Directory Plus is the right size book. It's the book if you need a phone book.
That's what just one person has to say about Directory Plus. With its red cover, features, colorful yellow pages, and lots more, it's no wonder people all over use Directory Plus.
It has so much more information. You can cross-check phone numbers or addresses or pretty much anything.
Look on the plus side, Directory Plus.
I'm a big fan of Directory Plus.
Las Cruces police arrested 40-year-old Jeffrey Cruikshank for allegedly attempting to murder a man in Las Cruces on Monday. Cruikshank has been charged with 2 counts of attempted murder as well as aggravated burglary with a deadly weapon, armed robbery, and aggravated battery with a deadly weapon. Investigators say he walked up to a man sitting in a car and demanded the keys to the vehicle, then stabbed the man after he refused to hand over those keys. The man was able to run away and seek help at a nearby Walgreens. He was then airlifted to El Paso for medical attention and has now been released from the hospital. 33-year-old Darren Begay of Shiprock has been charged in connection with the kidnapping and a series of violent assaults. Court documents show Begay allegedly punched, kicked, and strangled an individual at a home within the exterior boundaries of the Navajo Nation around June 30th. This left the person with visible injuries to the neck, face, and arms. Around July 2nd, Begay allegedly went back to that person's home and threatened to harm family members. He forced the victim into a vehicle, drove away, and reportedly attacked again before pushing the individual out of the vehicle to be left on the roadside. Begay has been charged with an assault on an intimate partner by strangling, assault by resist, serious bodily injury, assault with a dangerous weapon, and kidnapping. He remains in custody pending trial and faces up to life in prison if convicted. 18-year-old Jose Martinez of Rio Rancho, accused of shooting at a public school last week, is no longer in custody due to a technical error. Martinez shot John Blea in the hip which all stemmed from an argument between the two of them. Martinez has been charged with aggravated battery and assault and is scheduled to appear in court at the end of the month. No details on the technical error made have been released. The New Mexico Supreme Court handed down a ruling on Monday approving of a state policy that limits how much early release time inmates can earn for taking education classes. Deputy Director of Reentry with the New Mexico Corrections Department, Scoggin Doherty, spoke with KRQE.
4 months for an associate's, 5 months for a bachelor's, and 5 months for a graduate degree. And we have people actively in our prison right now working on all of those degrees.
The state law that the Supreme Court was taking a look at came from a lawsuit from an inmate who completed 2 associate's degrees. The Corrections Department awarded him with a 4-month reduction in his sentence for the first degree, but denied him on the second one. That inmate filed a suit that the rule was arbitrary and irrational. The court disagreed.
I don't ever want anyone to think that there isn't value to every program, to every bit of education, but not everything gets an earned meritorious deduction or lump sum award on their sentence. And if they make that next step and move to the bachelor's, they'll get another one.
The state Supreme Court's majority opinion voiced concerns that inmates may be disincentivized from taking the comparatively longer time needed to earn a bachelor's degree. The Children, Youth, and Families Department released a new directive for drug-exposed newborns. Children born exposed to methamphetamines, fentanyl, polysubstance, which is 2 or more illegal substances, or the presence of 1 illegal substance with THC and or alcohol, or diagnosed with fetal alcohol syndrome, must be taken into state custody, and an abuse neglect petition must be filed. Children will also be placed on a 72-hour hold in order to determine whether they go back home with their parents or remain in state custody. Joanna Ruby is a former intensive care unit nurse and a foster parent. She spoke with KOAT.
So taking care of a baby who is withdrawing, no matter what they're withdrawing from, is really difficult. They withdraw kind of like an onion in different layers. And so although they have gone through the initial withdrawal in the hospital, where they might not need medication and monitoring, they continue to withdraw at home.
Ruby has been a foster parent for over 20 years and has taken care of 300 babies. Some of those were born with drug exposure. In July 2019, New Mexico passed a Comprehensive Addiction Recovery Act, also called CARA, that requires hospitals to develop plans of care for newborns exposed to drugs and offers voluntary help or treatment to the families. Marilyn Beck of the New Mexico Child First Network.
Research upon research and analysis upon analysis is that 41% of families on plans of safe care didn't even know they were on a plan of safe care. 7 out of 8 families were not receiving services.
CYFD says more than 24 babies have died under this plan. Last week, the governor and CYFD came out with a new directive. During the hold, it will be determined whether the child will return to their parents or go into state custody. While advocates like Beck and Ruby are glad action is being taken to help New Mexico children, there are concerns about this new approach.
Her directive said, in an abundance of caution, effective immediately, that all birthing hospitals were to take a very specific substance-exposed newborns into custody over a 72-hour investigative hold instead of releasing them home on a plan of care.
I think unrealistic because, first of all, we don't have the resources, but also not all babies who are born with some type of substance exposure need to come into care.
We have children sleeping in offices. We have a system in crisis. We have a workforce shortage, and we do not have enough foster homes.
Now, maybe I'm just cynical, but these children are at risk of death. Do we trust the government, who seems to have dead kids regularly in their care? Your Crazy Radio spot-on weather forecast for the Tularosa Basin today calls for sunny skies with a 20% chance of showers and storms. Partly cloudy tonight, mostly sunny tomorrow with a 50% chance of showers and storms. Your high today in the basin, 94, low tonight of 68, high tomorrow, 92 degrees. In Cloudcroft, mostly sunny skies today with a 30% chance of showers and storms. Partly cloudy tonight, partly sunny tomorrow, 70% chance of showers and storms. Your high today in Cloudcroft, 73, low tonight of 50, high tomorrow, 71 degrees. Local breaking news can be found on our website, alamogordotownnews.org, and you can learn more about Crazy Radio by visiting kalhradio.org. Also check out the Crazy KALH Radio YouTube channel. That's where we post our daily newscasts, complete interviews, and other information which concerns everyone in the Tularosa Basin. Be sure to give this video a like and subscribe to our channel if you've not done so already. That way you too can remain informed of the goings-on in the Tularosa Basin. And that concludes today's edition of Alamogordo Town News on Crazy Radio. I'm Anthony Lucero.